All right, so this is the Algebra 1 semester review, problems number 61 through 70. 61, find the y-intercept and the slope of the lines below. Now, students, you will probably have easy problems like this on your exam, maybe one or two. You need to get these right. Remember, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. The m represents the slope and the b represents the y-intercept. So right here, our slope is 4 and the y-intercept is -8. Looking at the next one, our slope is 7 and our y-intercept is 3. And looking at the other one here on 61, we've got the slope of -3 and the y-intercept of 12. Now, if we needed to write these y-intercept as ordered pairs, it would be 0, -8, 0, 3, and 0, 12. Remember, to find the y-intercept, the x value has to be 0. So looking at the next one, find the relationship shown in the table below. So just what I said before, when the x is 0, that is your y-intercept. So we've already found our y-intercept right here of 1. So that means we could get rid of a because that says -1. We could get rid of d because that says +3. Now all we need to do is find the slope. So I'm going to use these as ordered pairs, 0, 1 and 1, 4. And let's go ahead and find the slope. 4 minus 1 is 3. 1 minus 0 gives us 1, so 3 over 1, or 3 is our slope. So that tells us that our answer is B because C has a slope of -3 and ours is a +3. Okay, if you do not know how to do this, you can always take the x value and plug it in and make sure it equals the y value. Number 63, match the graphs to their equations. So right here we've got y equals 3x minus 4. So that means we're looking for a y-intercept of -4, and we're looking for a positive slope of 3. So right here we've got a y-intercept of -4, and on G4 we've got a y-intercept of -4. But G2 has a positive slope, and let's see if it goes up 3 over 1. Up 1, 2, 3. Up 3 over 1, so this one, G2, would be A. Okay, the next one says, this one's not in slope-intercept form. So we've got y plus 3x equals 4. So what we need to do is put it into slope-intercept form by subtracting 3x on both sides. That gives us y equals -3x plus 4. So now we've got a y-intercept of +4, just like G1 and G3, but this one has a negative slope. And notice on G1, our line is going down. That's a negative slope. So G1 is letter B. Next one, still we do not have that in slope-intercept form, so we've got 2y plus 6x equals -8. Subtract 6x on both sides, and that gives us 2y equals -6x minus 8. Divide everything by 2, and that gives us y equals -3x minus 4. So this one we've got a negative y-intercept and a negative slope, so that's going to give us G4. And then our last one here, it's in slope-intercept form. We've got a positive slope and a positive y-intercept of 4, so that would give us G3. Okay, number 64. What is the equation of the line graphed? Okay, so first we're going to put this into slope-intercept form. So slope-intercept form, remember, is y equals mx plus b. So we see our y-intercept here is a +1, so we need to have a +1 here. So that means we can eliminate b and d. We see our slope is going down from left to right, so that means we should have a negative slope. So that rules out A. And now I'm just going to make sure that it went down 4 and over 1. So down 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 1. So our slope is -4. So our equation would be y equals -4x plus 1. So B is the correct answer. Next one, 65. What is the equation of the line in standard form, which has a slope of -2/5 and a y-intercept of 10? So let's go ahead and put this in y slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. So our slope here is -2/5. Our y-intercept is 10, so plus 10. So now remember, the x for standard form needs to go in front. So our standard form is ax plus by equals c. So the x comes first, then the y, and then the equal sign, and then our constant. So to get rid of this -2/5 x, I need to add 2/5 x to both sides. Those are going to cancel out. You've got 2/5 x plus y equals 10. Now, remember, standard form cannot have any fractions, so we need to get rid of that 2/5. To get rid of a fraction, all you need to do is multiply by the denominator, but you have to multiply every term by 5, which is the denominator. So right here, we're going to do 5 times 2 divided by 5 gives me 2x, plus 5 times y is 5y, and 5 times 10 gives us 50. So our answer here is 2x plus 5y equals 50, which is D. The next one, it says write the equation in standard form. Well, same process here. We're going to subtract the 4x on both sides. Those are going to cancel out. That gives me -4x plus y equals -7. Now, remember, standard form means that your x cannot be negative. So to get rid of that negative x, I need to multiply or divide everything by -1. So if I multiply this one by -1, -1, and -1, so our final answer here is a positive 4x minus y equals a positive 7. So there it is in standard form. Okay, 67. What is the equation in point slope form of the line with the slope of 1/3 containing the point for -9? So let's remember our point slope formula is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And remember, we substitute our values in here, here, and here. The y1, the m, and the x of 1. All right, so remember, this is your x, this is your y, and this is your slope right there, which is m. So our first one says y minus y sub 1. So we're going to plug in our y there, so that's -9. And if I do y minus -9, I need to put y plus 9. The slope is 1/3, and that gives us x minus 4. So that answer there would be B. 68. What is the equation in point slope form of the line through the points 10, 3, and 12, 11? Well, in order to do point slope form, we first need to find the slope. So I've got 10, 3, and 12, 11. So let's go ahead and subtract there. That gives us 8 and 2. So 8 divided by 2 gives us a slope of 4. So now you can use either point that you want to. I'm going to choose this point right here. So we can have y minus 3 equals 4 times x minus 10. That's one of the answers you could have. The other answer you could have is if you use this point right here, 12, 11. So that would be y minus 11 equals 4 times x minus 12. Either one of these answers is correct. All right, number 69, write the equation in slope-intercept form of the line through 4, -1 with a slope of 1/3. Okay, so for this one, we're going to do point slope formula, y minus y1, y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. So that gives us y plus 1 equals 1/3 times x minus 4. Okay, so for this, there's several ways that you could do this problem. All right, if you don't like working with fractions, which right here, if we were to distribute that 1/3 into the parentheses, we would get a fraction, which that might be okay to do. Let's go ahead and do it that way. So let's go ahead and distribute. That gives us y plus 1 equals 1/3 x minus 4 times 1 divided by 3 gives me 4/3. And now we want to get rid of that plus 1 by subtracting 1 on both sides. Okay, now we cannot do -4/3 minus 1. We need to have common denominators. So I'm going to go off to the side and let's do this. -4/3 minus 1. But we can't put 1. We need to needs to have the same denominator as -4/3, which would be 3. So I'm looking for a number that still means -1, but has a denominator of 3, and that would be 3. Because -3/3 means the same thing as -1. So now we've got -4/3 minus 3/3, and that gives us -7/3. So then I can just put that into our equation there, -7/3. And there's your equation in slope-intercept form. All right, number 70. What is the equation of the line in slope-intercept form which contains the points 9, 10, and 21, 14? So the first thing we need to do is find the slope. So 14 minus 10, that is 4. And 21 minus 9 gives us 12. So remember, it's the y divided by the x's. So 4 divided by 12 gives us 1/3. So right here, I know that my answer is not D and it's not B. So now we're going to use one of the points. I'm going to choose the first one. I'm going to put this into point slope form. So y minus 10 equals 1/3 times x minus 9. So now let's go ahead and distribute that 1/3. So we get y minus 10 equals 1/3 times x. And then I do -9 times 1 divided by 3. That gives us -3. Add 10 to both sides. And y equals 1/3 x plus 7. So our answer here is A. And there are your solutions from 61 to 70. If you have any questions, please let me know.